Matt Mills tested HIV positive last September. Although that doesn't mean he has full-blown AIDS, it does mean there is a possibility of the disease getting worse. Matt remembers the pain of finding out and the difficulty of telling his family. He was lucky, though. They were supportive.
It was devastating. Our whole family has just been terrified. And my husband and I found that what was really important was unconditional love of our son and caring for him.
There are thousands of people diagnosed as HIV positive in Columbus and Phenix City alone. But unlike Matt, many people simply give up hope. The support group Network AIDS has gained momentum in Columbus. They offer help to people with AIDS, yet there is still a need for more community support.
We're seeing a lot of exclusion in the drug protocols. Women, blacks, and children are being excluded. They're not able to get the drugs and treatments that they need to stay alive. And I do firmly believe that when the AIDS epidemic is over, whenever that day comes, that I think as a human race, we're going to have a better understanding of the differences in society and the classes, because people are being forced by AIDS to face things that usually they would ignore.
Carol Brookshaw, the director of Muskogee County's AIDS Education Office, says the good news is that education and understanding of the disease is getting better.
What we're trying to do is to stop people from becoming infected. We know what causes it and we know how to prevent it. So by education, hopefully we can stop the spread.
As always, officials within the health industry say the AIDS epidemic will get worse in the United States before it gets better. But with continued awareness and government programs, people with AIDS will have a better chance of receiving the care and the support they need. In Columbus, Sherry Fullerton, News Center 38.
If everybody's open about it and everybody talks about it and everybody takes action, I think a lot of the misconceptions and misunderstandings and prejudices concerning AIDS are going to go away, or at least get better. There's always going to be people that try to run contrary. There's always going to be people that are bigoted, but I think that number could be reduced if everybody was open and took a stand.
AIDS is a subject that has almost become an everyday part of our lives, but our understanding of the disease and our acceptance of its victims still have a long way to go. Because of that stigma, a lot of people still are not being tested or treated until it's too late.
There is somewhere between 50 and 100 individuals that are HIV positive for every case of full-blown AIDS that's reported.
This woman, who asked not to be identified, contracted AIDS from her IV user boyfriend. Her newborn child died of AIDS-related illnesses just recently. And Joe Mitchum discovered that her son Matthew Mills had AIDS last September. At the same time, she discovered that he was gay.
Listen to your children. Talk to your children. And when they say things that you don't want to hear, listen anyway.
And they all say if you have AIDS or just suspect you have AIDS, get treatment early.
Have yourself tested to find out if you're HIV positive or not, because it's scary, and to engage in safe sex.
And safe sex is still the best form of prevention. Although the treatment of AIDS has improved tremendously in recent years with the use of the drug AZT, there is still no cure in sight. I'm Wayne Bennett, Action 9 News.
AIDS is not a disease that chooses the size of the area it strikes. It affects people in all locations, including Columbus and Phenix City.
This is a problem that we have right here in our community, and I'm just delighted to see us join together in an effort to deal with it.
In an effort to increase local AIDS awareness, area health groups and volunteers spent the day educating the public, teaching them ways to avoid contracting the deadly disease. In the West Georgia area, at least 78 cases of AIDS have been reported, and health officials say they'd like to see that number stabilize. But they say it never will until the public is better educated, and political leaders seem eager to join hands in the battle.
We've all got to work together. We've got to realize that there's going to take an awful lot of sacrifice on all of our parts to lick this problem.
But licking the problem won't be an easy task. And although little relief is available to AIDS patients, unity might just be the best therapy yet. For the News Leader, I'm Robbie Codney. For more than a decade, AIDS patients have fought for equality and respect. And though many battles have been won, the rising cost of health care seems to have many persons with AIDS crying for mercy. For Matt Mills, being HIV positive has opened a new door to problems in his life. And one of those problems, keeping his medical bills paid. And he says he's not alone.
There are literally people dying on the streets with AIDS, whose families have turned them away, whose mother and father won't have anything to do with them, who all of their friends have died. They have nowhere to go, no hope, you know, and also that's because our medical care system is just not working.
The cost of health care for AIDS patients is already phenomenal, and Matt says the problem will only worsen.
If you take all of these millions of people that within 5 years are going to need expensive medical care, you know, you see where it's going. The medical system just might collapse.
Matt also says the government should do more to assist hospitals in the funding of medical care programs for persons diagnosed with the virus. He says the number of AIDS patients is on the rise, and if something isn't done soon, the next decade could be a decade of tragedy.
It's scary to think about what it's going to be like 5 or 10 years from now.
For the News Leader in Phoenix City, I'm Robbie Cotney.